Yeah, we thank God that today we are on our last day of interviews, and we are grateful to God and for everybody else. So let's pray. Almighty God, as we thank you this morning, we call upon your wisdom, favor, and blessing as we seek to execute the responsibilities you have bestowed on us. God, we seek your guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberations in so just, fair, and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our charge. Amen. Amen. So we have three candidates this morning. We have Charles Kipyegon Mutai, Steven Ngeno. Is this Ngeno or Ngeno? Okay, it's Ngeno. Okay, thank you. Then Joel Muita Daniels. Can we have Charles Kipyegon, please? Charles Kipyegon, welcome. Nice having you, and please have a seat. You do have a pen and paper there and some water. Welcome. I hope you have not traveled this morning from Kericho.
No, I traveled 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Karibu sana. My name is Nelson Makanda. Nice to have you. Thank you for showing interest in the positions we advertised.
Yeah.
And congratulations for being shortlisted.
Thank you.
I would like to invite my colleagues to introduce themselves, then we will come to you. Linda, please.
Good morning, Mr. Mutai.
Good morning to you.
My name is Linda Kiome, and I want to welcome you for your interview session this morning. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Reverend Mutai, habari ya asubuhi.
Mzuri.
Naitwa Andrew Tanui, mwanachama wa chopo hili la uteuzi.
Yes.
Asante.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Mutai.
Good morning to you.
Caroline Kituku, karibu sana.
Asante.
Good morning, Charles.
Good morning to you.
My name is Adam Zolo. I'm a member of the selection panel.
Reverend, good morning. My name is Nicodemus Bore. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Mutai. My name is Fatuma Ali Saman, a member of the panel. Please feel welcome.
Good morning, Reverend Mutai. Na karibu sana. My name is Koki Muli Grinyo, and I am a member of the panel.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, Charles.
To you.
My name is Evans Misati. I'm a member of the selection panel, and we welcome you.
Thank you.
Now we come to you,
Yes.
Reverend Mutai, and ask that you introduce yourself, highlight your career and profile life experiences that you think are significant for us to know, and that dovetail into the job that you have applied for. Let us know if you are a member of any professional group, and let us also know whether you do have any award or anything that is complimentary from other people.
Okay.
So thank you, please. You can start.
Thank you so much, Chair and the panel. First, I thank God for this opportunity. And I'm Reverend Charles Kipyegon Mutai from Kericho County. After high school, I joined Bible College, the Kapsabet Bible College, to do a diploma in Bible and pastoral studies. After around 4 years, I joined Kabarak University to do a bachelor's degree in theology. Then I went back to church ministry and also school ministry, where I've spent most of my time. I began a master's program with Kisii University around 2014. I finished my coursework. I'm still ongoing because of one or two challenges. When they closed the campus in Kericho, there are a few challenges. On leadership, I've grown up in areas of leadership since when I was in high school, and in the church, in the community, where I've served in various capacities as a youth leader, as a secretary in a church, as a chair, and currently serving in the capacity of an administrative secretary in the size of maybe a sub-county where I administer, assist the chair, write minutes, send correspondences, covering around 80 churches. Apart from that, chair, I have also served in capacities in several schools in the board of management. I've served in around 5 schools. Currently, I'm serving at 3 schools as a vice chair and a chair in 2 secondary girls' schools. I've served, I've also been incorporated into other areas of leadership in the community, areas of climate change, where I am a member in the ward. And those are my areas in the area of leadership. Thank you, Chair. I participated in areas of elections. I developed interest. Immediately I cleared high school, 1992, though there is no recommendation. I found myself being a polling clerk at Tegat Primary in Nandi County. 2007, I participated as a deputy presiding officer. 2010, I participated as a presiding officer in the referendum. 2017, I served as support elections trainer, a trainer of trainers, where after we were trained, we were able to train the POs, the DPOs, and the clerks. I also served around 2018 as a voter educator in my location, though there is no reference to that. Out of my service in the IEBC 2017, the UDA party were looking for people who could serve in the nominations in the 2022. And I was just called because the constituency, Ainamoi constituency, recommended me to go and preside over the nominations. I was deployed to Nyandarua County as a county returning officer to manage the nominations, which I did excellently. And I was forwarded to go and assist my colleague in Nakuru, where there was a repeat in 2 constituencies and a ward. So, Chair, I come in with a lot of experience of leadership as from a religious perspective, from the area of society and participating in community. I come with a lot of experiences. I come in with a lot of moral integrity because of my background, my line of duty, which has brought me this far, Chair. I think I can stop there for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Mutai, Reverend Mutai. Now, apart from the experience that you have, what other skills and competencies do you intend to bring to the IEBC as a commissioner?
Thank you, Madam Linda. I come in with a lot of skills of leadership, skills of mediation and conflict resolution. From the pastoral perspective, a pastor is always involved in mediation, reconciliation, and then spiritual and moral guidance. So I bring in a lot of very good communication skills and interpersonal skills. Because as a religious person, we mingle with people from diverse minds, diverse characters, but at the end of the day, there will be an agreement. So I come in with a lot of interpersonal relationship, good communications, and decision making. If you look at, I've served as a chair. So when you are a chair, you do a lot of listening, as well as a lot of balancing, and at the end of the day, you make a decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend, and I wish you the very best. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. I want to invite Caroline to also ask some questions.
Thank you, Chairman. Reverend, good morning.
Good morning, once again.
Yes. So the law has established certain electoral offences.
Yes.
Right? Would you please mention these offences and what is it that they seek to curb to ensure fairness and credibility of the elections in Kenya?
One of the offences is maybe false pretense. I mean false pretense. Maybe another issue is bribery. Bribery is not allowed in the areas of election. Maybe maligning someone's image and name wrongly.
So there are those offences that are established as general offences under the penal laws in the country. But there is also a whole section of the laws that deals with electoral offences. So what are these particular electoral offences that come out as a result of the entire electoral cycle?
Maybe I can mention and say maybe stealing elections, or influencing people to vote in a certain way against their will, maybe by use of money, by use of force, or intimidation, which has consequences, of course, of a penalty, a fine, or a jail term.
Another one?
We find that sometimes people would want to register themselves more than once, which is an election offense, with the intention to vote in more than once, which also brings in a penalty in terms of a jail or a fine.
Another one?
Maybe another one could be where maybe someone would want to use someone else's identity, his ID card, to vote, yet he is not the actual person. Yeah.
The last.
Okay. The last one could be maybe disrupting or stealing elections materials, disrupting an election process, or stealing election materials.
Stealing under the penal code. Anyway, thank you very much. I wish you well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Koki, you are to ask.
Thank you, Chair. Reverend Mutai.
Yes.
The IEBC is mandated by the Constitution to regulate the nomination of political parties.
Yes.
So that's a key function that it should be doing. If you are fortunate to be a member of IEBC, please tell us what strategies you would implement to ensure that political parties conduct fair, transparent, and legally compliant nomination processes, internal nomination processes of political parties, that they should be conducted fairly and transparently and in compliance with the law that governs that process.
Thank you. Parties should set up their own regulations and rules and systems on how to nominate and set up maybe dispute resolutions, so that in the event of disagreement from a member who is not satisfied, then they'll be able to deal with it. So that's one. Most of the parties, because each party is registered, then they should have ways of nominations. How are we going to nominate our members? And then what number? And then obviously prepare themselves for challenges, so that they'll be able to avoid the challenges that may come. Because the work of the commission is just to regulate. They will not interfere with their nominations, but they make sure that the nomination process is right, it is justified, it's in the law, so that no one feels that they have been unfairly maybe removed.
Thank you. While it is true that the work of the IEBC is to regulate, it is also to see that political parties comply with the law. So it's not just regulating and leaving them.
Yes.
So how can you, as a member of IEBC, oversee that compliance? What are the kinds of things that you can do? And in fact, one of the things that you can do to ensure compliance is actually provided for in the Elections Act. What is that?
Okay, I don't remember very well, but what I know is that the IBC is there to monitor in that act how the nomination was done, how was the procedure, was it right, and if there are members or individuals who are not satisfied, then there will be measures to be put in place.
Thank you, Reverend Mutai, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I'd like to invite FCP Tanui to ask some questions.
Thank you, Chair. Reverend Mutai.
Yes.
You told us you registered for your master's in 2014.
Yes, but indicated there 2016.
Yes.
Yes.
Those are like 10 or 8 years ago.
Yes.
Mbona hujamaliza?
Kisii University Kericho campus was closed.
When was it closed?
I think immediately, just before COVID or that time. And then some of our details got lost.
Okay.
I not really wanted to have mentioned. But from last year, I've pursued, I've even written my concept paper. I was supposed to attend, to do my first defense in the month of March, but I postponed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, after Form 4,
Yes.
you went straight for a diploma.
No. I stayed for about 4 years. Yes.
But I'm saying you are admitted directly for a diploma. You didn't do any certificate.
I didn't.
And the university accepted you to start the diploma direct with your Form 4 grades.
With the college I attended, they accepted because we were doing a 4-year diploma, not 3-year.
No, but I'm saying admission to do the diploma.
Yes.
They accepted your Form 4 result.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish you well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Bwana Misati.
Thanks so much, Chair. Charles,
Yes.
please let this panel your knowledge on the role of the IEBC commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Misati. One role of the commissioners is to put in place policies governing the commission. They do the administrative work. The commissioners do the administrative work. Sorry, could you please come back again?
Charles, keep
Yes.
it going.
Yes.
I ask you a question related
Yes.
to the role of the IEBC commissioners as stipulated in Article 88 of our Constitution.
They supervise on the issues of voter registration, voter education, verification of voters, the issues of delimitation of boundaries. They also facilitate the observers, those who want to observe elections, they are the one to facilitate. They supervise and look at on the issues of party nominations. Then they conduct all the elections and also referendums.
Thanks so much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fatuma, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Mutai,
Yes.
if you were to develop the next stakeholder engagement strategy, what would you incorporate to ensure that non-traditional actors like influencers and diaspora groups are consulted or rather considered?
Stakeholders engagement is very important between the commissioners and those other stakeholders, because the commission does not work in isolation. They require these other stakeholders, the human rights, the religious groups, the media. Therefore, they should always be forums. They should create forums for discussion.
Would you kindly focus on the strategy itself and how you would incorporate the non-traditional stakeholders?
I think one of the strategies is good communications, reaching out to the stakeholders, so that there is always a discussion. Another strategy is for the Commission to be very open and transparent. Because in the past, the Commission has been seen as if there are things that are hidden. So they need to be very open in whatever they do. Another strategy is to show their program, to show what they are doing. To be well stated that this time we are doing this time we are doing this, at this time we are supposed to be doing this. So that there will be no suspicion, there will be no doubt over what this commission is doing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, and I wish you well.
Thank you.
Nicodemus Bore, please ask some questions.
Thank you, Chairman. Reverend,
Yes.
in your CV you have indicated that you are a skilled conflict resolution expert. Kindly explain what approach you will employ to resolve disputes related to election results. I'm sure this is not new to you, having done nominations in very contested areas, especially when dealing with candidates and political parties who may not accept preliminary outcome. What dispute resolution mechanism or strategies will you employ?
One mechanism that should be used is dialogue. It's dialogue. Have all the aggrieved parties come to the table. For example, I remember when I had this opportunity to preside the nominations, there was one individual in Nyandarua, an MCA, who complained that some of his voters had not voted at the end or at the close of the polling station. So we sat together, evaluated what had happened. So what were the possibilities if these voters were going to vote? Were they going to change the outcome of the results? So I'm talking about dialogue, sitting down with all the parties involved and then having a discussion. Another mechanism that can be used is to involve the leadership of the party. The leadership of the party, so that they take the responsibility and the concern of the issue that is there and how it can be resolved. And maybe thirdly is to encourage people that there will always be a winner and a loser. And then obviously looking at the facts of this person who won, did he win fairly? And this one who lost, did he lost fairly?
Thank you, Reverend, and all the best.
Thank you.
I want to invite a professor. Professor, please ask some questions.
Thank you, Chair. Reverend, I want to ask you on your perspective on strategic vision within IEBC. And to that extent, my question is, in your view, how should the IEBC embed visionary leadership within its long-term institutional planning? In your view, how should the IEBC embed visionary leadership within its long-term institutional planning?
Thank you, Prof. The vision of IEBC, maybe to begin from there, is to be an electoral body that gives Kenya, give the aspirations of Kenya a democratic, good election. So leaders or commissioners who should be there should not think only about now. And IEBC Commission has come through a lot of successes as well as challenges. And so the commissioners who are there should have a bigger vision beyond today, looking at the challenges which I've mentioned and also the achievements. And so whoever is there should really have the burden of the country, should have a vision of not only serving in the duration given, but serving for posterity.
Thank you. My last question in this segment. Imagine you are a commissioner.
Yes.
We've made you a commissioner.
Yes.
And Parliament has approved you. Imagine you are leading a national review of polling logistics. What principles and strategies would you apply to ensure operational excellence across the country?
Come again.
Charles
Yes.
Mutai
Yes.
has been sworn in, hypothetical, has been sworn in as a commissioner. And among the first thing he finds in his in-tray is that he has been tasked by the commission to be the commissioner in charge of leading a national review of polling logistics. And the panel is asking, what principles and strategies would you apply to ensure operational excellence across the country?
Thank you, Prof. An election, a very good and successful election, will depend on the logistics, the background plans before the D-Day. And so I would begin by saying early planning. Early planning is very important. That those who are involved, they should plan that at this time we are having an election, therefore we need to plan. Have enough human resource. Have well-trained personnel who knows what they are doing. Have enough resources for the logistics to be there. And then see the end result from the beginning. Prepare for challenges. Prepare for challenges that on the event this and this happens, what are we going to do so that you don't become reactive when challenges come.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Prof, do you have the last two questions, please?
Sure, Chair and Reverend, usually through the chair at this tail end, we usually ask what are called high school questions.
Yes.
And we usually start with the area in which you have practical experience in. And you don't carry the title Reverend for nothing. You carry it because you have a bachelor degree in theology.
Yes.
You can also see you have a diploma in Bible and pastoral studies. And you also have been an administrator in different capacities in the religious sector.
Yes.
And therefore, the first question should be on the religious sector.
Yes.
Name any two bodies or acts under which religious institutions are regulated in Kenya, either registration or administration and all that. Or let me simplify it. If you want,
Registration of Societies Act.
very well. Any other? For religious institutions, not just Christian, general faith-based groups.
There is a 2024 bill on religious
regulation.
regulation.
Thank you. My last question. Name any two of the oldest existing political parties in Africa. Any two, there are many, but just two of the oldest. So when I mean oldest, don't mention the one which has died. Only mention the ones which are surviving. They might be struggling, but they are still there. In Africa, Kenya included.
ANC of South Africa. Maybe ODM of Kenya.
ODM is only 20 years old. Anyway, thank you. I thought
There's
you
one
would say
in
Baba
Tanzania.
and Mama, but you didn't say Baba and Mama, but it's okay.
There's one I was trying to think, one in the Nyerere's party. But
It's called what? I'll give you that chance.
It skipped out of my mind. The
Thank you.
Nyerere's party.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, naitwa Chama cha Mapinduzi.
Thank you, Chair.
Asante.
Yeah.
We want to thank you, Reverend, for the time. We have engaged with each other and are grateful. I don't know if you have any question or comment to make.
Thank you, Chair. I don't have any question, but just to appreciate the opportunity and to thank you for your audience and our engagement, and praying for you and praying for us that God's will prevails. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Blessings to you. Your certificates are with our colleague at the door. Feel free to pick the notebook and the pen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next candidate is Steven Ngeno.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
My name is Nelson Makanda. I am the chair of this selection panel, and we want to thank you for showing interest in the position we advertised for member, but also want to congratulate you for being shortlisted, and that's why you are here this morning.
Thank you very
I'll
much.
invite my colleagues to introduce themselves to you. Having done that, then we will come to you. Linda.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Ngeno.
Good morning to you.
My name is Linda Kiome, and I want to welcome you for your interview session. Karibu sana.
Thank you, madam.
Bwana Ngeno, good morning.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Chair, I was a college mate to Mr. Ngeno, so he's known to me. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Ngeno.
Good morning, madam.
Caroline Kituku, karibu.
Thank you.
Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Professor.
My name is Adam Solo. I'm a member of this selection panel.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
My name is Nicodemus Bore, and karibu sana.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Ngeno.
Good morning, madam.
My name is Fatuma Ali Saman, a member of the panel, and I would wish to welcome you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Ngeno.
Good morning, madam.
Karibu sana. My name is Koki Muli Grinyo, and I'm a member of the panel.
Thank you.
Good morning, Ngeno.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Evans Misati. I'm a member of this selection panel, and we welcome you.
Thank you.
Now we come to you, Ngeno, and ask that you kindly introduce yourself to us, highlight your profile, and let us know how your experience dovetails with the expectations of our IEBC Commissioner. Let us know if you're a member of any professional society and if you belong to any group that is professional, and if you have received any award. Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Chairman and honorable members. My name is Steven Ngeno. I come from Bomet County. I am a PCOM graduate from the University of Nairobi with MBA from the same university in strategic management. And before that, maybe I can say about my high school and primary school. I started in a school called Kipsinge Primary in Sotik constituency. Then later on joined Kabianga High School, where I finished Form 4 before joining University of Nairobi, Faculty of Commerce. I'm a BCom, Management Science option. Management Science is currently equivalent to PPIT, that is Bachelor of Business in Information Technology. That's why after graduation, I was able to move to ICT comfortably. After finishing college, I joined Telcom Kenya. At that time, it was Kenya Post and Telecommunication Corporation, ICT department, as a system analyst trainee, where I rose through the ranks up to the level of an assistant manager billing process. And my job was to do the billing of the telephone, lines at that time. And I learned a lot from that experience. And I was privileged to be among the first employees to be attached to the new system when telecom, when the split came and there was Safaricom and other entities. So I was building the interconnect. Interconnect is the revenue between the telecommunication firms, and at that time I was oriented, or I was privileged to join senior management meetings at a very young stage in Garia, because I was in the team that was negotiating for the interconnect rates. So at times we could be having meetings even with the first CEO of Safaricom and Kensel at that time. Before I left Telecom, I left ICT department and joined the compliance, because the compliance was starting up an information system audit unit. And I was the only one in the ICT department that had studied information system audit and passed the exams. So I joined there in the setup of the information, to help in the setup of the information system audit. And I familiarized myself with the various audit principles. After telecom, I joined the IEBC, Interim Independent Electoral Commission, as a manager, business support and training. Business support in this case was supporting the main business of the Interim Independent Electoral Commission, which was actually election being the core business in the ICT department. And this was a reform commission. After what happened in 2007, there was a serious presidential election dispute, which led to the disbandment of the ECK, the Electoral Commission then. And there was a commission which was headed by Krikla, which was formed to see the conduct of elections during 2007 election. And one of the recommendations was the formation of a reform commission with efficient and effective secretariat. And it happened that I was one of those recruited to be the efficient and effective secretariat. And another thing was was that the register was invalidated by Parliament. So we had to come and build another register for the referendum. So I was in charge of the database of IEBC, the register, together with the other team. And we were able to build that register from photo number 1 to what it is right now in preparation for the referendum. I learned a lot during that time of reform because I was part of the reform team. I saw a lot. We worked closely with the commissioners at that time because we were a very lean secretariat and we had very active commissioners. And one of the commissioners was an ICT expert. And one of the recommendations of the Curricular Commission was that the new electoral body was supposed to build an electronic or a digital system for the management of election. So from there we started, or we began the journey of elections by piloting during the referendum. We selected, the commission selected 18 constituencies countrywide. And I was privileged to have been in the team which was doing the selection of the piloted constituencies for technology. And in preparation, we were involved in the preparation from the beginning because that's where the commission was going. And we were coming up with the electronic voter register. So we started by building even the specification from the scratch and for the acquisition of the equipment. And then later on, we were able to register voters, but we did a number of tests during that time, like...
You want to move to something else that you have done? IEC, you have mentioned that.
Okay, IEC.
You build the database from the scratch. I'll continue to announce something else that you have done.
Now, when we transited to IEBC,
okay. Now you moved to IEBC as what?
It was on the same level.
Okay.
Yeah. So all the election technologies, I actively participated, and any other reform in the elections at that time. Then later on, I moved to the office of the Deputy President, Advisory Unit, as the Deputy Director, ICT and Infrastructure, where I worked for some time. Then currently, I'm working with Kenya Industrial Property Institute, KIPI, as the Deputy Managing Director, Technical Services. And technical services involve registration and protection of industrial properties, namely trademarks and patents. So I'm overseeing that department currently. And I can really relate it to the other areas that I've worked in, because it is all about innovation. It is all about dealing with stakeholders in the area of development of new information systems.
Thank you very much. I want to ask Linda to ask you some questions, please. Linda.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Ngeno, which skills or professional experiences have best prepared you for this kind of job that is high stakes, and it requires a multi-skilled person who can be able also to handle the pressure that comes along with the job? So which skills and experiences do you have that you think will help you in the execution of your mandate?
One, I am an expert in ICT as a system analyst by training and by practice. And I have worked my way in ICT and implemented several systems that supports businesses. And I am also, I have a great strength in coordination, and you find that elections has got very complex logistical issues that needs coordination, and I have done this before. When even I was a regional coordinator for IEBC in South Rift, I was managing 17 constituencies with over 40 staff. So I have that kind of, I can work under pressure because I have done this before. I've worked in the project management when we were in IBC during the time of elections. We could collapse every other thing in terms of positions and ranks and work as a team like a project, and with strict timelines and responsibilities to meet. So I can meet strict timelines, and also IBC is a very legal area with everything in election is almost illegal, to the extent that I comply to the legal terms.
Okay, thank you so much, and I wish you the very best. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. I want to ask Caroline to ask you some questions. Carol, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Ngeno,
Yes, Madam.
in 2022, the Supreme Court, in the presidential petition, identified certain weaknesses in the result transmission system. Given now your background and understanding of IT, what were those challenges that the court identified, and should you become successful, how would you steer the commission in navigating those challenges?
The 2022 election challenges, it was majorly about transparency, to the extent that there was a division between commissioners, because there's a group that felt that...
No.
Sorry.
Let's focus on the result transmission system.
Yes.
Not the governance issues.
Okay.
The result transmission system, I mean, like, IBC uses technology.
Yes.
For voter identification, biometric voter identification, and the result transmission. But the Supreme Court identified certain issues or certain weaknesses in the manner in which IBC deployed technology. What were those weaknesses, and how would you navigate them?
In results transmission, there were challenges in terms of connectivity, as in there are some areas which the results were not able to come to the server or to the central tallying system. The other thing was like the way it was being handled. Some results could come with because the officials were taking a picture or an image of the results form. So the way they do it, sometimes they come halfway, which would not be verified how the results, the completeness of that results. And when you look at it, generally, it was like, to me, as an ICT expert and someone who has worked in election before, it was more of administrative issues than the functionality of the system, because the system worked very well in certain areas. Also, you notice that the election IBC officials which are engaged on temporary basis and may not have had good training on how to transmit the results. I have also looked at what was highlighted by the KBMB in the audit, and they were talking of strong password, weak passwords. That's an area that needs a great discussion, because the problem that we had in 2023, in 2013, in results transmission, was because of strong passwords that we had enforced at that time, and many people were not able to log in and send the results. Now, when the passwords are changed to be a bit easier and flexible for the IBC officials, it also becomes a vulnerability. So what can be done is to strike a balance between a strong password and a weak password to see how we can safeguard the integrity of the system, at the same time make it possible for everyone who is using the system to be able to access it. Then the other one is fine-tuning the system to the extent that when an official is trying to send the results and they are taking an image, the system should be fine-tuned to the extent that it should not be able to send half the results or the form. It should only accept to send the results when it has captured the whole form. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I wish you well. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you. I want to invite Koki to ask some questions.
Thank you very much, Chair. Mr. Ngeno.
Yes, Madam Koki.
Should IEBC regulate and oversight political spending?
Yes, IBC should regulate and control political spending.
So how would you strengthen IEBC's oversight of political spending?
It is actually supposed to, it's an ideal situation. IBC should regulate and control. But it is a very challenging situation, given that the money that is spent in elections by political people or politicians, majority of it is not even about the posters, things that can be put in the budget. It is all about handouts that they give it to the voters, which is illegal. So that one, it is hard to account for it. And also, there is another thing that is really impacting in the democracy in this country. The level of honest in terms of dealings is very low. I had a privilege when I was in IBC to go to Brazil to do the observation of election, presidential election. And some of the things that we were looking was the campaign. The campaign there is managed well in a systematic manner, to the extent that there is a level playground for politicians, because it is actually the Electoral Commission there that manages the funds for the candidates. So
You said that IEBC should oversight and regulate
yes.
campaign spending, and I asked you how. So please give us some steps on how you would.
One is to work together with political parties. Secondly, is to have a very strict code of conduct in terms of the campaign and declaration of the budget by the candidates on how much they can, and maybe for IBC to form a special unit that enforces that code of conduct for management of campaign funds outside the normal, because the current IBC as it is, the officers in the field, their hands are full. They may not be able to follow the politicians to every campaign or call them. But if IBC could form a separate unit that deals with campaign financing, they'll be able to manage to certain level.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ngeno, and I wish you all the best. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I want to ask FCPA to ask you some questions. FCPA, please.
Thank you, Chair. Bwana Ngeno, you know, all along I thought you were still at IBC. When did you leave IBC? And
I left IBC in 2017.
Any reason? And you had prospects?
Yes, I had prospects. I loved it, but I aspired to be a candidate, which did not work.
Which candidate?
I had aspired to be an MB.
Member of Parliament?
Yes.
For which constituency?
Sotik.
Oh, Sotik.
Yes.
So you fell at what point? Nomination?
Nomination, I didn't go beyond nomination.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why would you want to leave Kipi, and you are Deputy Managing Director now?
Because one, I have seen and I know and I understand the kind of commissioner that IBC requires, and I am one. I know what it takes to be a commissioner in IBC. I joined IBC during the time of reform, and it was not a good reform. It was a very serious reform after the post-elections. So I joined IBC, and I was oriented in a way that I should take seriously every election activity, because it means a lot to this country. So IBC needs that kind of, any commissioner needs that kind of orientation, whereby it's like, it's like you are driving in a road and you are driving carelessly, then you find a very bad accident. You'll start slowing down and following the rules, the traffic rules for some time before you go back to your behavior. That is how I was oriented. I was made to understand that elections are serious issues in this country that needs to be handled with due care, because it can break the country. So I have that passion to do it, and I have the necessary experience. And one of the areas that I think has been troubling IBC is ICT and the server. And there is a need, and a serious need for that matter, to have an ICT experienced person as a commissioner in IBC. And this is evident from where we started. The technology was moving very well during the IIEC, because we had a commissioner who was an expert in ICT. Then there was a slowdown in IBC towards 2013, even from the procurement, because ICT issues were not being articulated in the plenary to the extent that it was not receiving the necessary attention, and some of them delayed in procurement and implementation and affected the result transmission and management of election during 2013. So there is a need to have an ICT expert who understand also election in the IBC Commission.
Thank you. I wish you well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Misati?
Thanks so much, Chairman. Steven
Yes, sir.
Ngeno, please tell this panel the work of the Secretariat in IEBC, particularly in terms of human resource. What are you doing?
Thank you very much, sir. The work of Secretariat in IBC is to run the day-to-day activities of the Commission. And these activities revolve around voter registration, voter education, and other activities like financial management. I mean, that's about the ICT.
Steven,
yes.
I actually requested the work of the Secretariat in relation to human resource, staff management, and all that.
In relation to human resource, I am not getting you there.
The Secretariat and the staff of IEBC.
Yeah.
So who recruits the staff? So what does the Secretariat do in terms of the staff, the directorates and all that?
Oh, the human resource. There is a fully fledged directorate of human resource in IEBC led by a director human resource. And depending on the levels, senior levels are normally recruited by the commissioners. But the other levels are recruited by internally by the Directorate of Human Resource. But when it comes to the election time, that role is delegated to the returning officer at the constituency level to recruit and train staff who are manning the election during the election time.
What are some of the risks associated with recruiting such a huge number of staff during the general elections?
The first risk is that there is a risk of interference. It do happen, interference from outside political class, putting pressure on IBC staff to recruit certain people who may not have the necessary qualifications to do that job. Secondly, people don't have the same level of understanding. During the training, some officers may not be able to get the training, the necessary training to the extent that they are able to efficiently run election. And the other risk is that since they are temporary staff, the way they used to be during the ECK, this one's some of it, there is a risk that someone is trained, recruited, trained, and failed to turn up in the morning of the day of election. That's the greatest risk again.
Thanks so much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to invite Fatuma to ask you some questions. Fatuma, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Ngeno.
Yes, Madam Fatuma.
If you're given a chance, how would you prioritize stakeholder engagement at IEBC? How would you prioritize if you are given a chance?
Thank you very much. Stakeholders in every election are very important entities in election. In IEBC, the first one of the stakeholders is the political class. There is a need to be harmony between the political class, the politicians, and the commission. The other one is the government itself, which is central government in terms of treasury. IEBC is independent but still rely in government for funding. So there is need to be understanding. There need to be exchange of information, open information, to the extent that they know the need of having those funds in advance to meet the strict timelines. The other one is parliament. There are legislations or some laws that needs to be worked on maybe before an election. And the parliament should be actually told or explained to that they need to have those amendments passed so that it can facilitate smooth running of the of elections. The other one is the media. Media needs, because corporate image of an organization is how people receive it. Media in this country is a great influencer of elections and any other thing. They actually set the agenda of what is to be discussed. Whenever they give attention to a certain topic, it becomes the discussion for everybody. So they need to actually have a very good understanding so that media, they don't do a bad job. They can be a very good vehicle for further education and so many other activities of the commission.
How would you place them in order of priority? You've identified them, yes, but how do you prioritize?
One, I will the one is the political class, because one, no.
Separate issues when you talk about the political class.
Politician.
Who? When you're saying a stakeholder, you must be very specific.
Politicians.
Which politicians?
Majorly members of parliament, to agree so that these are the people who actually supposed to apart from doing the oversight of IEBC, they are the opinion leaders in this country, and this country needs peace for any election preparation or for election to be conducted. The other one is IEBC, Treasury. Treasury is among the top stakeholders stakeholders in election. The IEBC needs money to run every activity efficiently and effectively. Then the other one is also the voters themselves. They need to know, like registration, when is it happening, and to know their rights to register and prepare for the elections. Yes.
Thank you very much, and I wish you well. Back
Thank
to you, Chair.
Thank you. I want to ask Nicodemus to ask some questions, please.
Yes, you've said you've worked at the IEBC before, and you are part of the team that introduced the electronic voter system in Kenya. Given a chance to be a member of the commission, how would you help in reducing the amount of money that is being gobbled by the ICT system at IEBC?
Technology actually is required in election nowadays, and technology is very expensive. Unfortunately, the pace at which technology is changing is so fast, to the extent that in the next 5 years, when election is being done or being carried out, maybe the technology has been phased out, so you need to do another one. But there's a way we can do, to the extent that we can run an audit the way an audit was done on the register. We can still run an audit on the hardware and the network infrastructure to see those ones which can be maintained easily and can be reused in another election than starting all over again. But as we do this, as much as I know and I believe that resources should be used in a very prudent manner. Democracy is a very expensive process. When you look at it, like in IBC today, there are some polling stations which have got less than 10 people. But it cannot be closed because it is for public interest and for the good, common good, that those people have their rights. And they will get a full deployment of election officials, including security, just like any other station, other stations which have got maybe thousands of voters. So apart from the need to have, to manage the election budget in technology, there is also the need to look at that democracy is exercised and is accessed by every Kenyan.
Thank you, Steven, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Professor, please, ask some questions.
Thank you, Chair. Ngeno,
Yes, Professor.
let's go ethical, because it's an issue in elections. Kindly outline the constitutional and statutory instruments that form the backbone of Kenya's integrity framework for public offices, and which of these are most relevant for an IEBC commissioner. It's long, so I'll repeat. Kindly outline the constitutional and statutory instruments that form the backbone of Kenya's integrity framework for public offices. Which of these are most relevant for an IEBC commissioner?
One is the chapter 6 on the Integrity Act, Leadership and Integrity, which define actually the qualification of anybody aspiring to enter to any office or of leadership in the country. We also have the ethics code, and I think Article 10 and Article 232, which talks about public service, code of ethics, that define how a public servant is supposed to conduct himself within the office and outside the office when managing public affairs, to the extent that the interest of the public comes first before the personal interest. IEBC Act also will affect a commissioner, because there is a need to understand what are the roles of, or what are the functions or the mandate of a commission. You will be leading a commission, which you should know its mandate, and it is explained in the IEBC Act. There is also Election Surveillance Act, which every commissioner will need to familiarize themselves, so that they are able to understand when elections offenses are made, or and so forth. So I think those are the ones that are very important.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Okay, Professor, do you have last two questions for the candidate?
Sure. Stephen Ngeno, in this last segment, through the chair, we usually ask high school questions, and we started from where your expertise is. And I think your forte is ICT.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, your main area at according to your
Yes, it's
CV,
ICT. Yeah.
ICT.
Yes, sir.
The Kriegler Commission recommended, among other major reforms, the need to adopt technology in the election process to provide efficient, transparent, auditable, and credible results. Subsequently, election after election, there have been issues on technology, especially the result transmission system. And the Supreme Court has pronounced itself, including in the 2022 election. Having been an insider and now wanting to go back, especially on ICT, and having heard you that the 2013 commission had an ICT commissioner, and the subsequent one did not have an ICT commissioner. Based from where I've started, from Kriegler to Supreme Court to Ngeno, the expert on ICT, where is the problem and how will you resolve it?
In terms of technology, IEBC technology, when we look at the history, the way I have explained from the referendum time 2013, when you look at it, the functionality has never been an issue in terms of technology. It has always been the lack of preparedness. Now, that can only be addressed by the Commission itself, having someone who can provide a strategic leadership on how to acquire ICT equipment, make sure it is tested well in advance, and the training, appropriate training is carried on. And training, appropriate recruitment of people who understand technology and train well to use the technology. If that is done, it is going to work. And I can give an example. In 2013, the technology failed. I had challenges during the election. But in the subsequent by-elections, because thereafter immediately we went to Makweni for the by-election of a Senate. And we took our own IEBC staff who were trained to be the returning officers and handle election. And I can tell this panel that the election results came in by 9 p.m. 100% results transmission had happened. And yet we were using the same system that was problematic in Pomas. So it's all about preparation, early preparation, and that goes up to Treasury. If the Commission can get the necessary funding in advance, technology works and works very well.
Thank you. My last question. Name any 2 counties in Kenya that border the Republic of Uganda. Any 2 counties in Kenya that border the Republic of Uganda.
I know Busia and Kisumu.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bwana. We want to appreciate you for coming and for being part of this process. We do think that your experience both at IEBC and your current role are significant, and we want to appreciate the knowledge we have learned, and especially your response to the professor when he was asking about the results. It sheds light not just to us but also to the public out there. And so we want to appreciate you very much, Mr. Ngeno, for your experience. I don't know whether you have any question or a comment to make.
Chairman, thank you very much, and honorable members, once more, for giving me this opportunity to come and share my experience and my passion in electoral matters. Mine is to say two things. One, the independence of IEBC starts with this selection panel. And secondly, as I told you, I am one person who was introduced in the reform at a time which was caring. I'm still traumatized to the extent that I know and we have confidence that this panel is doing a very good job. And I want to share a small story which is very relevant to what you are doing. That there were two friends somewhere, and both of them were very wise. So one time, one of them took a butterfly, held it in his hand, and asked his other friend, "Is it dead or alive?" And the response was, he knew, the other friend was also wise, he knew that the moment I tell him it is dead, he will release it and it will fly. If I tell him it is alive, he can easily press it to die or squeeze it to die. So there is a butterfly in your hands. You can release it to fly beautifully in a democratic manner, or you can squeeze a life out of it. The country is looking at you, Professor. Thank you very much.
We will need the question first.
No, I don't have a question.
No, we need the question for us to know what to do with the butterfly.
Release the butterfly to fly.
Okay, thank you.
Alive, it will not fly when it is dead. It will beautifully fly democratically when you release it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Your certificates are with our colleague at the door. The notebook and pen are yours, and we are grateful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Asante. Basi majina yangu ni Nelson Makanda, mimi ndio mwenyekiti wa jopo hili, na tunataka kushukuru kwa kuonyesha nia ya kuwa commissioner wa IEBC na kukupongeza kwa kufaulu kwa kuitwa kwa hii interview. Ningependa kuwaalika wenzangu wakaweze kujitambulisha kwako, kisha tuje kwako. Asante. Linda.
Good morning, Mr. Mutai.
Good morning, Madam Linda.
My name is Linda Kiome, and I take this pleasure to welcome you for your interview session. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Daniel, habari ya asubuhi.
Salama.
Jina langu ni Andrew Tanui, mwanachama wa jopo hili. Asante.
Asante.
Good morning. Caroline Kituko, karibu sana.
Asante.
Good morning, Joel.
Good morning.
Adam Solo, a member of the selection panel.
Thank you.
Muita, habari ya asubuhi.
Salama kabisa.
Naitwa Nicodemus Bore na karibu sana.
Asante.
Good morning, Mr. Mutai.
Good morning.
My name is Fatuma Ali Saman, a member of the panel. Please feel welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Mutai.
Good morning.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
My name is Koki Muli Grinyo, and I'm a member of the panel.
Asante.
Good morning, Joel Mutai.
Good morning.
My name is Evans Misati. I'm a member of this selection panel, and we welcome you this morning.
Asante.
Now we come to you, Mr. Mutai, and ask that you introduce yourself, highlight those things that are significant for you and which are relevant for the position you have applied for. Indicate to us whether you're a member of any professional society and if you have received any award or honor, and anything else that you think is significant for us to note. Karibu.
Asante sana. Thank you so much, Chair and the distinguished panel, for giving me this opportunity to appear before you to discuss my suitability for the position of a member of Independent Electoral and Borders Commission. My name is Joel Mutai Daniel, 32-year-old, certified professional mediator with deep understanding on electoral matters and elections. I started my schooling in Kuria, where I proceeded to Kanga High School, class of 2010, and also proceeded to Maseno University, class of 2015, where I was able to graduate with a bachelor degree of development studies with information technology. I'm currently pursuing my master's degree in international studies at the University of Nairobi. In complementation of my work and my duties, I've also undergone several certifications to build my capacity to deliver in higher calling like this of IEBC member. Some of the courses that I have undergone is mediation from Netherlands Institute of International Relations, public administration management from Beijing Beitong University in China, peace support operations logistics, international humanitarian law from International Peace Support Training Center. Bridge, I've completed the module of voter and civic education, among other courses that are stipulated in my CV. I started my career in 2015, just after the Garissa terror attack, where we lost 157 young people, and I saw there is need to promote peace. And as young people, we need to be very proactive in ensuring that we secure our country. I formed a national association for students by the name Universities and Colleges Student Peace Association, whereby we were able to promote peace in all our institutions of higher learning. Due to my ability of networking, resource mobilization, and bringing different stakeholders together, we were able to do a lot
in terms of ensuring that we reduce radicalization and promote peace in our institutions of higher learning. One of the key highlights during that particular process, we were able to develop a curriculum dubbed as Learning to Live Together, which the student leaders and the students across the Republic of Kenya were able to be trained, and this actually contributed to peace in our country. Some of the book I've actually given for your reference. Later in 2017, where my deep knowledge and exposure on matters of election were entrenched, whereby I was able to sign the first ever youth inclusion MOU with IEBC, and USPAC together with IEBC played a very critical role in promoting youth participation in the electoral processes. In that particular MOU, one of the great achievements which I highly contributed is opening of the BVR kits so that the student in institutions of higher learning could register in school and vote at home. Further, I also advised the Commission for young people who have gone in different towns to look for different opportunities. They also need to be able to register in Huduma centers, which could also be giving them the opportunity to vote at home. In the same year, I got an opportunity to serve as a youth representative of the DRG, the Dialogue Reference Group of the religious leaders. This was a policy and strategic arm of the multi-sectoral forum, which was actually brought together to promote peace and ensure that we also have a good election that the common mwananchi, everyone in the country and the world could be proud of. In that, I was also exposed on issues about the amendment of the laws which the DRG and the MSF of the Interreligious Council of Kenya highly contributed to ensure that we have a peaceful election. In the same year, I was also contracted by International Foundation for Electoral System to be the lead consultant on youth inclusion program in the program called Changamka. In that, I was able to contribute my knowledge in developing youth-friendly education materials, which I've also attached here to ensure that young people are also engaged in a nice manner. Also, in the same year, I was also contracted by the Uraia Trust, whereby I also helped them, together with my team, also to develop youth-friendly civic education materials, which Uraia used in 2017. In November of the same year, I got an opportunity to explore on other matters of election on other jurisdictions, and I got an opportunity to lead a team to observe the Somaliland presidential election, which was sponsored by Safer World. In that, I also got an opportunity to gain more experience and knowledge by getting more trainings on election observation. Later now, in 2018, I also had an opportunity to author a book on my experiences on my journey on youth inclusion in the electoral processes, a book that has in showing the trust that they had in me. I was privileged to be the chairperson of the Youth Coordinating Committee, one of the achievements as stipulated in the IEBC evaluation report of 2022, I was able to train more than 1,500 young people across the Republic of Kenya on voter education and youth engagement across. This also gave me an opportunity to travel across the Republic of Kenya, interacting with different stakeholders in ensuring that we have young people engagement in the electoral processes. I also got an opportunity to be actually employed by United Nations Development Program as Cohesion and Peace Project Officer, where I was actually seconded to Yano platform, whereby all the stakeholders on elections are actually in to promote peace in our election. This also gave me a broader perspective on matters of stakeholders and election. Currently, I serve as the Director, Liaison Services in Turkana County Government, where I also double up as the Chairperson of the Inclusive Refugee Response Program Steering Committee, a program that is funded by the Danish Embassy, contributing more than 3.9 billion Kenya shillings. Thank you, my Chair.
Mutai, you seem to be doing extremely well in leading the youth and young people. Why would you want to leave that arena to get into this onerous task of Commissioner of IEBC?
Thank you. This country is ours. The majority of the peoples in this Republic of Kenya are young people. Actually, 75% are young people. And they will also need a person who understands them, a person who has been with them to serve in that particular commission, because that is where the policy and where our country will be shaped in terms of manufacturing the leaders that will ensure that we have a secure and a blessed country. Lastly, Chair, I forgot to say something very crucial in my CV and during my introduction, that I'm a member of two professional bodies, that is the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators, and I'm also a full member of Kenya Institute of Management. And I've also been awarded by Horn of Africa Youth Network by greatly contributing to the development of the youth policy of the IGAD region.
You used the word manufacturing the leaders. This sounds like the faranga of your computer.
You know, as young people, you know, we understand that manufacturing is where the things are made, you know. It is from IEBC that ensures the will of the people through the ballot is actually manifested through the vote.
Thank you very much. Linda, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Mutai, I first of all want to congratulate and commend you for the experience you have had in your not so many years on this planet, 32 years of age. It's very young, but your experience is very vast. So I wish to commend you for a beacon of hope and inspiration for the younger generation. So in addition now to the experience that you have had, Mutai, is there any period of time where you have had your leadership skills tried, tested, and you came out strongly? And if there has been such a time, would you share with this panel what happened and how you were able to maneuver? Because the environment within which you'll be working with at the IEBC is a pressure environment and very high stakes. Please.
Thank you. Yeah, so that is, thank you so much, Madam Vice Chair. I have had several experiences, especially of a person who has been working with young people almost throughout the last 1 decade. There is a time in 2017 whereby we were conducting youth engagement in the electoral processes. And I had invited all the student leaders at Lillian Towers. That was 2017 for just a stakeholders engagement. And as usual, as you remember, I mentioned earlier that I had signed an MOU with IEBC. And every time that I had an engagement with also young people, I also had to write to IEBC so that they could bring me one of the facilitators who could also guide the process. So that particular day, the night before that particular day, there was a news that one of the director of IEBC, especially now to be specific, ICT, had tampered with the register of voter. And there was also a push of also removing the commissioners. So I didn't know IEBC is going to send me which person to come actually and speak to the student. So as we were waiting, the student already, the person who is coming is the person who had been mentioned, that is the one who tampered with the election last night, the voter register. Actually now students were in arms, all of them, they said now we are going to ban these Lillian Towers. And I used my innovation skills to cool them. As I was cooling them, I was telling them, we didn't invite that. I was just writing a text message to Madam Joyce Ekwam, who was also a manager, and I told her, just come here and act like a mother. So when Madam Joyce came, at least I told her, you know, this is the person I wanted. They brought me a wrong person. And actually those people could. Otherwise, if I could not have used my tactic, things could be bad in Lillian Towers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mutai, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you so much, Madam Linda.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. I want to invite Carol and Kituku to ask you some questions. Carol, please.
Mutai.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, let me join my colleague in congratulating you for the good work you're doing on your delegation in this season. So I hope you carry on that work. So let's come back to what you want to, where you want to go to. Let's speak about the 2022 presidential petition. The Supreme Court did identify certain issues within the role of the IEBC chair and that of the commissioners insofar as studying, verification, and declaration of presidential election petition results is concerned. Would you tell us how did the court clarify this role and how is that clarification supposed to build the mechanisms of IEBC towards the safeguard of credible elections in Kenya?
Thank you. Actually, I would like also to commend the work of our judicial system, especially the court, in the working to ensure that we strengthen our democracy and our electoral processes. Every time we go to an election, we have improved our election based on also the recommendation we get from the court. In 2022, what actually emerged and was very significant is the role of commissioners vis-a-vis the role of the chairperson of the commission. And in this, actually, the court declared itself and also advised the commission, number one, to create a corporate charter which is separate from the function of the commission and secretariat, just also to guide the operations of the commission and the secretariat. Number two, the court also advised the commission also to ensure that the role of commissioner is actually from the day-to-day running of the commission, that is before the election day and the election day. The roles are actually put down, they are known and they are understood by both commissioners, so that the commissioners given fair contribution in their working and understanding in terms of the engagement with the commission. In this was actually even further, if you read the NADICO report, it also says that the commissioners, you remember that some of the commissioners during the 2022 general election, they said they have been given hospitality role to play at the Bomas of Kenya. So even as much as even the court ruled and also ensured that every commissioner has a significant role to play during and before the election, and also on the election day, it could also be nice, which was also supplemented by the NADICO report, that this is not only put in hearsays, but also included in the corporate governance charter, which the court actually advised.
Thank you very much. So specifically, for clarity purposes, what did the court advise insofar as the declaration, tallying, and verification of results is concerned?
Yes. So the court advised that this is a collective responsibility of all the commissioners, and it will not be the function of only one person. So these results should be owned by all the commissioners' members. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I wish you well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I come to FCS, Dr. Koki Muli. That was ask you some questions. Koki, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Mr. Mutai, let me also join my colleagues in congratulating you for what you have done in self-actualization, but also importantly for the youth of this country and your contribution. In fact, I want to ask you a question related to your biggest constituency, the young people, and the need for them to register as voters. Because if without a voter's card, you cannot determine the leadership of this country. And I'm glad and I hope you will continue doing that, guiding them so that they can have a voice, and that voice is a vote. So my question is, what legally compliant and operational safeguards should the IEBC implement to ensure continuous, accurate, and inclusive voter registration? What sort of safeguards that will be complying with the law and that are operational that can IEBC put in place to ensure that?
Thank you so much, Madam Ambassador Koki Muli. Number one, it is the responsibility of the Commission to ensure that there is continuous voter registration in our Republic of Kenya. So that is actually given as a mandate under our Constitution and also the Elections Act of the Republic of Kenya. Number two, under our Article 38, give a right for every citizen in the country who has attained the age of 18 and has a national ID to be registered as a voter and participating in that very democratic right. So as IBC will ensure that, number one, the process of voter registration is actually guaranteed and is continuous. Number two, one of the mandates of
How?
By actually reaching out to this target population, the people who have not registered, and ensure that the process is easy, it is understood by them, and that is why I was actually going to the second point of ensuring that one of the other mandates is voter education and civic education for the Republic of Kenya. So this population needs to really be engaged. They need to be fed with relevant information, which is very critical for them to understand why they are going for this particular important democratic right. Number three, it is also the issue about stakeholders' engagement. We have said that one of the stumbling blocks, especially for people who come from border areas, me being included, that we have been getting difficulty. For example, I stayed 1 year without getting an ID because they are doing what they are calling vetting. And we thank the president to ensuring that one is scrapped, because most of the young people, even in 2022 general election and 2017 general election, were unable to register as voters because they were not able to get the ID in time. So having a stakeholders engagement and collaboration with the National Bureau of registration of persons will be key for us to ensure that all the people who attain the age of 18 get the ID, which is a very critical document for registration for these purposes, and ensure that we ensure everyone who gets an ID is actually getting is getting registered. And most importantly, if I get the opportunity to serve as a member of IEBC, I will remove the commission from anniversary tower to the people. This process belongs to the people, and people should own it, so that we ensure that the people of this Republic of Kenya, especially the young people, own the process, and even that is the reason why we'll also return the trust of the people to the commission.
How will you remove the commission from anniversary towers to the people?
Removing is not just removing the physical building, but to take our operations to ensure that people are properly engaged. We reach out to them. You know, for example, Madam Koki, that we have North Hall as a constituency in Marsabit, where it is, and the last border of another IEBC office is more than 300 kilometers. So it is unfair for people just to walk more than 300 kilometers to look for IEBC, and we have permanent and pensionable staff being paid by IEBC to work for the people of Kenya, and we cannot go where they are. We cannot visit their market. We cannot go to schools, and ensuring that people understand that this commission is to serve the people, but not to serve the buildings at which we serve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mutai, and I wish you the best. Chair, thank you.
Thank you. I do want to ask FCPA Tanwi to ask you some questions. FCPA, please.
Bwana Mwita.
Yes, Bwana Tanu.
I'm looking at your age of 32 years.
Yes.
And I was going through your documents, and I saw 5 letters from very serious state departments: university education, youth, gender, OP, interior. I mean, looking at that broad network at your age, so what is the secret behind all this?
I think, Bwana Tanu, you've forgotten even the civil society organization and embassies are also there. And the secret is to work hard and ensuring that what you know is outside there. And that is why I even publish my experiences with young people.
So you are saying the secret is?
Work hard, be outgoing, and there are some skills which are very needed in this particular commission, which those letters demonstrate, that the spirit of networking, collaboration, and engagement with various stakeholders, which are very key, so that when I'm actually getting the opportunity to be the commissioner, I'm not starting from zero. We have elections which needs to be done like immediately. So we'll start by kicking the process.
So what is this unique thing about Daniels that is able to achieve all this within this very small period?
I take my work first by putting God first. I'm a believer and a Christian who understand that all the things we do is because God has sent us to do the work. So number one, I think it is the God blessings that I can actually attribute my achievement to. Number two, I don't usually sleep and wait for the opportunity to come and follow me. I remember when I was in campus, we were given public long holidays from first year. So I used to cheat my father and courier that the university has said it is a mandatory that we have to go for attachment. From first year, I've been attending attachment till I finished because I never wanted to stay in the village. I wanted to come to Nairobi and work. And that really exposed me to a lot, and the deep understanding on how to relate well with people, how to approach people also assisted.
And then lastly, I saw you are a vice chairperson of Accounting Students Association.
Yes.
But I have not seen anything in your documentation thereafter.
Yes.
Any reason?
Yeah, so immediately after my Form 4, I joined Strathmore University to do my accounting. And I started doing my accounting, and because I had not finished, I never wanted to put something that there are so many things I've not finished and I've not put them there. So when I schooled, actually I went to Strathmore University, School of Accounts. I did some accounts there. When I went to Maseno University, you know, when you've come from Nairobi and you've gone to a university in the village, you see, people also look at you in a different manner. And my engagement even in the School of Business was very vigorous. And even the student, that was an election. Even for Thea voted for me when I was a first year to become their leader, and shows my leadership skills. And I became the vice chair of the association of the university.
I wish you all the best. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Sati, please engage Mutai with some questions.
Yeah, thanks so much, Mutai. At a later time, we'll be looking whether cheating the father that you are going for attachment is an offense or an integrity issue. We'll look at that later.
Mr. Sati, you're a father of a teenager. So just take care.
That's very good. So now, Mutai.
Yes.
Let's address the issue of voter apathy, which is usually associated with most of the youth. And our analysis, we have been doing observation at the polling centers. The people usually who get associated with demanding handouts before they vote and stay outside the polling station, they actually, most of them, they are youth. I've not seen a mature person demanding that you have to see me before I vote. So how do you associate that, and how do we address it as a country, the issue of voter apathy?
Thank you so much, Mr. Misati. And this is a very worrying trend. And if we actually go by statistics, we even need to be more worried if this particular panel is going to assist the country in ensuring that we have the commission that will cure some of this disease. In 2017, the IEBC voter register had 51% of its numbers, the voters, were young people. In 2022, the number dropped by almost 10%, and we had only 39.8 of the registered voters being young people. That is our worrying trend. Number two, in terms of the economic value, if you read the Aga Khan University report of 2016 on youth engagement on the electoral process, it says that 40% of young people wants to be given a bribe for them to participate in the election. And you understand that we are in a difficult situation economically. And this is not only about the Kenyan government or Kenya at large. We've seen so many African countries that the youth bulge, which come with an employment crisis, and whatever that we need to do is, number one, it is a responsibility of any republic to ensure that we address some of these challenges that young people undergo in their country, so that we have a better nation and youthful population which meaningfully engage in different spheres of life.
Now, from the argument of the same youth,
Yes.
they say why they are not voting is because the politicians, they say what we call input fatigue, year in, year out with promises. So they have reached a level now where they're saying, we are no longer now, we don't want promises. That's why they're saying now we want these handouts to Malisane. So how would you, if you become an IEBC commissioner, how would you engage the stakeholders, particularly the elected leaders who have the resources, devolved unit resources, CDF, county governments? Is there a role, do you think, as an IEBC commissioner you can play, or who can be able to do that, so that there is that civic education,
Yes.
so that this notion is
realized? Yes, Bwana Misati, that there are also several factors which I didn't even actually dive to, and which actually contribute to youth voter apathy. And one which actually really stuck my mind when I was in Kanga High School is there is a lot of historical injustices which have never been addressed to date. One of the key area, my classmate actually lost all the parents and the relatives. He was just alone, and sometimes he used even to cry in class because he went to the polling station, and that is the results as to why he is homeless. He doesn't have parents. This is a person that he associates voting with the losing of relatives and property that they had accumulated over years. So some of the issues that were even put in the Waki report really needs to be looked at as a government going forward, to see how are we going to address some of the historical injustices that people have actually reached. And you can see there are some people who were born in 2000 and now they have reached the age of voting, and the experience that they got in 2007 really makes them to completely stay away from this particular process. Another thing is about also the nullification of the results by our court of law. In 2017, the election results was nullified, and that one can even explain to you the drop of from 51 to 39 of young people. And even in 2022, whereby IEBC was having a target of 4.5 million, they could not even reach 2.6 million. So it is something that we actually need as young people to see, and also as a nation, on how we are going to work together. And this is a whole of nation approach. It cannot be left for one particular person. By the people of Kenya, we need to have a conversation as a nation on how we are going to sort out this particular problem.
Thanks so much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
But what will be the role of IEBC in helping resolve those dilemmas you have expressed?
Yes, Bwana Chair, in our constitution under Article 27(6), it gives even some powers to the Commission to even come up with administrative and policy measures to address previous injustices which have been meted for this particular population to come up and also register as voters. As if I'm given a chance to work as a commission in IEBC, I'll be able to ensure that it is a constant engagement with the people, especially the youth population, who are actually the target group, in terms of enhancing the voter education, enhancing the collaboration, for example, for PPLC, which is a platform for dialogue for all the political parties, and ensure that in that particular dialogue platform, it is represented by a commissioner level person to ensure that the engagement there with the political party, because Bwana Chair, some of this particular problem also emanates from our political parties in how these political parties actually carry out themselves and how they engage young people, because also that is a basis. So ensuring that we strengthen even the engagement at the PPLC by ensuring that we have a proper convening power, the finances and the operation, so that we have an engagement which will endear this particular population to participate in this important role.
Fatuma Saman, please ask Joel some questions.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Mr. Mutai.
Yes, Madam Fatuma.
In your view, what is the role of the stakeholders in shaping the IEBC voter education strategy?
Yes.
That's one. Then how would you institutionalize this role? What is the role and how would you institutionalize this role?
Yes, Madam Fatuma, this is a very important aspect of our electoral cycle. And the voter education strategy, I want to start it from even the accreditation of different stakeholders to carry out this very big mandate of IEBC. You understand that it is not only IEBC that carries the voter education, but different stakeholders. One of the key things that I think we need also to make as a change, if I'm given a platform to be a member of IEBC Commission, is to ensure that, number one, we give accreditation much earlier. I have seen instances whereby organizations are given accreditation by IEBC 2 months, 3 months to elections, and these organizations which have been given the accreditation to carry out voter education, they have no idea on what voter education is. They think that there is some donor money they can go take and start voter education. So one of the key things that we'll also do is to ensure that we empower all the organizations, be it state, FBO, and youth serving organization, the capacity before we actually come up with an issue of accreditation of this particular organization. So that is one of the roles that are endure that it is done, the issue of a capacity building. Number two, the issue of the materials. You know, we have to segregate our country. This country is not homogeneous, neither are the youth homogeneous. So we need to ensure that the material provided, the people with disability can access, the young people can have it, and also the old and people in marginalized area, like where I come from. You know, be it even the platform that you are going to use to ensure that it reaches the information. You know, you can have an information, but if it is not tailor-made for specific people, you will find yourself talking to yourself. If you go to IEBC TikTok account, we have a population of 2.2 million voters, and majority of that particular people is young people. But if you go to the followers of the TikTok account, we have IEBC is being followed by 145 people, and even Kreskena has much more followers than the IEBC itself. So it means that we give content which is not targeted. We need to ensure that whatever we give is consumable by the target population. Thank you.
I want to thank you so much for your response. I've been looking for this response for a very long time. Thank you. I can't conceal that, despite the fact that we're in an interview. Anyway, Mutai.
Yes.
How would you institutionalize this, those ideas that you've said?
Yeah, so for me, one of it is also to come up with a youth policy within IEBC, which will give a guidance and a framework on how our operation will be done. For me, that one is also very crucial. Number two, also we need also to have a small research so that we are guided by the numbers, we are guided by statistics. Number 3, also we need to increase on our stakeholders' management and engagement.
Thank you very much, and I wish you well. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
You have referred to marginalization for a while now, and I'm wondering, how is Migori marginalized?
I come from Kuria, Mr. Chair, and Daktari, there we can't even produce a governor because we are only 2 constituencies within a county with 80 constituencies. So we usually struggle, and that is why some of our leaders say that we need to have our own county.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Thank you.
I want to invite Nicodemus to ask you some questions, please.
Yes, maybe Chair, I'll start from where you just left. Is it important to have your own governor?
It is not the governor of the community, but the governor of the area and the region. And what history has also taught us that sometimes people do not adhere with our constitution, and they actually have development based on where they want the development to go. So if you are not singing in the tune, or you are not speaking the language of the governor, you might be left there wondering whether they will reach you in terms of development or not. This is an attribute as Kenyans we need to draw away ourselves from, but it is a reality that this is happening.
Okay. Now, I also want to join my colleagues in congratulating you for the many years you have lived, at the same time achieving a lot as compared to some of us who have been here for many more years. And on that, I would like to know what legal standards govern your behavior as a public officer, not only while discharging duties, but also in your private life. And why are these standards important for sustaining public confidence, especially in the body that you are looking to serve in IEBC?
Thank you so much, Bwana Bore. My number 1 guiding principle actually found under Chapter 6 of our Constitution, the chapter on integrity. There are very key principles there which really, if all Kenyans follow, I think we can be in a better country. Number 2, in our Constitution, give us Article 73 of our Constitution. That tells us that we need to ensure that we put the public interest more than our own self-interest. We become selfless. We become accountable to the people that we are leading. So I think that is also very instrumental for me, 73 of our Constitution. Number 3 is the oath of office. I take the oath of office, which will be a guiding principle to me, a principle that will be there for me to uphold the Constitution and carry out myself in a manner that will be concurrent with the Constitution and relevant law that guides this Republic of Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you, Mutai, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Bwana Bore.
Thank you. I want to invite Professor to also ask you some questions. Prof, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Joel Mutai Daniel.
Yes.
Let me first congratulate you for the milestones that you have so far achieved at 32 years, and you have literally crossed the paths not only nationally but internationally. So keep the good work, and I'm sure your generation is proud of you.
Thank you.
Let me take you back where both the Chair and Bore on marginalization, and I think your statement was that you can't even produce a governor. Why can't you produce a governor?
I had stated here clearly, it is how the things are in terms of the numbers, you know, and when given an opportunity, and this is one of the reasons why I highly take it as an honor and thank this selection panel, even for nominating me. As a young person, as a person who comes from the interior part of this Republic of Kenya in that particular area. So the issue has been also been the number, Bwana Professor. Professor, as I had alluded earlier, that in a county of 80 constituencies, we are only 2 constituencies. And nowadays, and people actually, and I think it is also one of the principles when people are doing the boundary delimitation, that there is a community interest. People tend to actually fence their community and they produce their person. If you go to Northeastern, there is something we call negotiated democracy. It is actually not done outside the clan. It is done inside the clan and they produce one of their own. So it is something that has been happening in Kenya, but I think kama professor tukishikana mkono tunaweza tukachange nchi na watu wakuwe wangwana. So that nikisimama kama governor pale Migori nipewe hata na watu wengine ambao hawajatoka kwenye kabila langu.
Is it not true that for all those 3 elections, the deputy governor has always come from Korea?
That is an affirmative action seat which has been left. Why can't it now be the other way around?
I hear you very well. The same populace.
Yes.
The same populace in the county.
Yes.
That elects the governor.
Yes.
Also elects the senator.
Yes.
Has a courier.
Yes.
Been elected a senator.
Yes.
By the same populace.
Yes.
How many times?
In Korea, it is only one time that we produced a governor, a senator, and he was held an hand with the son of the soil. So if that hand could not have been lifted up, Dr. Machagi could not be the senator of Migori County.
So you are accepting that some negotiated democracy happened?
Yes, that is why we are saying, as a country, we don't need to go to negotiated democracy for someone to win an election.
Just along the same lines, women county rep
yes.
is elected by the same populace that
yes.
elects the governor.
Yes.
Has a courier
yes.
and a woman and
yes.
a disabled person
yes.
being a women county rep of Migori.
Yes.
Wasn't that negotiated democracy?
Actually, you see, all the things that, Professor, you are talking about was the negotiation democracy of 2013, which ended. And since then, no Korea has become a women rep, no Korea has become a senator.
But
no
they have become. My point is that they have become.
They have become out of the negotiated democracy, and they have been held in hand by a person we call the son of the soil. And I don't want to mention the son of the soil.
That person leads a party, so it's the party doing it.
For sure, Professor.
Thank you. Let me go back to the question. You are 32.
Yes, Professor.
And I believe you were told, I don't know whether it was Caro or whether it was the vice chair, that you're going into a high voltage political arena at 32. So my question is, how would you respond if subjected to coordinated political pressure seeking to influence an election outcome? How would you respond if subjected to coordinated political pressure seeking to influence an election outcome?
Thank you so much. As you've stated very well, Professor, my age is 32 years old. And when you are at 32, you are very careful on what you do, because you are only not threatening your own life, but also the life of your family and the whole generation that I live to see. One of the things that I abide myself and have been abiding myself to is the rule of law. Election is guided by rules, is guided by the Constitution, is guided by regulations. I take the oath of office to ensure that I will do and perform all my duties in accordance with the law. We have regulations and acts which actually guide us in every operation, be it the Election Act, be it the IEBC Act, be it the Constitution of Kenya, be it the Political Parties Act, be it the Data Protection Act. All these things will be able to guide me in all my operations as a commissioner.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Prof, do you have the last two questions?
Yes, Joel, at this stage, through the chair, we ask the high school questions. And that at 32, you haven't been out of high school for so long, unlike some of us.
Yes,
so
Prof.
you should be in very familiar territory. And I start with something, we usually start with something that you have had an experience in. And I saw from the brief from your CV that you are the chairperson of IEBC Youth Coordinating Committee between 2021 and 2024.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just tell the panel, because also statistics have shown us that out of the 22 million registered voters, it's only 14 million that voted. And there are suggestions that most of the 8 million people who didn't vote were youth. From where you sat in that office, what contributed to that? That's the first part of the question. Then post 2022 until 2024, when you are still in that office, what did your office with IEBC do to address those anomalies of the youth either not participating or the youth not being given a chance or the youth not being brought on board?
Thank you so much, Prof. There are several things that actually contributed to young people not participating in this particular exercise. And during my interaction with this honorable panel, I actually mentioned some of them. And key to it, there was a research which was done by Badili Africa just in 2022. And the research was actually a one question which was sent to several young people across the Republic of Kenya. And the question was asking, does your vote make an impact in your life? 73% of the people who responded, they said no. And during the interaction when they were revealing the research, most of the suggestion was saying that I was born, for example, in my village, and my father has been voting for the better part of his life, but the road leading to our place is still untarmacked, a lot of potholes, and nothing has changed. So, me being born the other day in 1992, who is now starting to vote, or for example, the people who were born actually in 2000, they saw that they are not going to change anything, so they better sleep. So this is something that we also need, and it has been contributed by the leaders that we've been electing. Number two is also we need to ensure that our process are transparent and easy so that young people can resonate easily. And that is one of the reasons as to why, if given the opportunity, I want to ensure that we can see on our way that as the Kenyan population in engagement with other population who are better stakeholders of us, to introduce voting so that we make it easy. We enhance our technological mechanism in an election. This has been actually anchored in various reports, including our court system, the Kliger report, ICJ, telling us we need to enhance our technology so that when we put technology, we enhance transparency and we ensure that we give the we ease in the process of voting so that we can encourage more young people to participate in this exercise.
Sorry. I have to be on record, sorry.
Yes.
Let me put it on record. I know you heard, but let me just put it on record so that you also answer on record. Name any 2 lakes in Kenya inhabited by flamingos.
Yes, Lake Baringo and also Lake Naivasha.
Any other? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mutai. Thank you for helping us finish this interviews on a high note.
Thank you.
You are actually the last candidate. You may not have known that. And we want to appreciate you for preparing for the interview and representing the young generation well in this interview.
Thank you.
I don't know if you have any comment that you'd like to make or any question.
Thank you, Chair, and the distinguished panel. I take this particular moment to highly thank you and appreciate you. First, for shortlisting just a 32-year-old person to appear before you to discuss the stability of my membership, my position to serve as a member of this particular commission. Number 2, I also want to give thanks on behalf of all the candidates, being now the last born, who appeared before you, that we don't take and we didn't take this particular moment for granted. It is an honor and we highly appreciate. What I can only say that I'm only praying for you to give Kenyans the people who can serve this republic in honor so that we can have a prosperous nation. May God bless you all.
Asante na shukran. Kama utarudi Kehanja, usalimie watu.
Asante, Chair.
Baraka. Vyeti vyako viko pale mlangoni na ndugu ambaye alikuleta. Asante. I can see we had a few members in the gallery. I suspect this are part of the youth battalion. Congratulations and thank you for coming to be part of this process. Asante.
Asante.
Thank you. Well, we can say hooray, or what do we say? Okay, fine. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, yes. We thank God for the process. Okay. I don't know whether we should break to come and finish this. This media might want us to say something, so I don't know. Okay. you haven't seen what is that I will say. So it would be nice. It would be nice for you to, yeah. Yes. Yeah. So let's break for tea so that they don't dismantle their equipment. Then we come back in another 10, 15 minutes and do a presser and release you. Is that okay? Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. No, I want yes from this side.
Oh, okay.
See, I can also, at least I have this one. Boss. Are you okay?
Okay, good afternoon, members of the media. As you're aware, on the 14th of March 2025, the selection panel published a list of 11 applicants who were shortlisted for the position of chairperson of the IEBC and 105 applicants who were shortlisted for the position of member of the IEBC. In the shortlist, the selection panel also informed the shortlisted candidates of the dates and time of the interviews, which extended to unofficial working hours and dates. It's important to note that on the 25th, the selection panel further reviewed the long list and deemed it necessary to update the shortlist to 111 candidates. This action was intended to further enhance compliance with the constitutional principles of regional balance, representation of the youth, and overall inclusivity. The selection panel also adjusted the dates and times for the interviews so that they could be conducted as far as is possible within the public and official working hours. The selection panel subsequently conducted the interviews of the 11 applicants shortlisted for the position of chairperson from the 24th March 2025 and concluded the interviews of the 11 applicants on the 26th of March. The interviews of the position of member of the IEBC commenced on the 27th March 2025 and have concluded today, Friday, the 25th of April 2025. Out of the 111 candidates shortlisted for member position, 107 candidates presented themselves for interviews, with 4 candidates opting out for personal reasons. Notably, throughout the process, the panel has ensured that the recruitment process complies with the constitutional and statutory requirements. With the interviews now completed, the selection panel is retreating to conclude the selection process as envisioned under the first schedule of IEBC Act Cap 7. We wish to most profoundly thank the people of Kenya and the media for the engagement and the feedback so far on the selection process. The media has enabled people of Kenya to follow and engage with the process, and we remain grateful and thankful to you. Additionally, the selection panel has been live streaming the proceedings live on our YouTube channel. We wish to reassure the people of Kenya of our commitment in conducting the selection exercise in an impartial, fair, and transparent manner and in accordance with the Constitution and relevant statutes. We thank you. God bless you, God bless Kenya, and God bless the process. Signed today here at the College of Insurance at the Edge Conference Center. Thank you very much.
Chair, just one quick question.
Yeah?
I just wanted to know, when do we expect the final outcome? And then the second question, in case...
What's your name, please?
Kenna Cloud People Daily.
Okay.
Kenna. The second question, after all this, what is expected is the best. If, in case the person who comes out and does as per the law, you will deserve a part. In case that person becomes a failure, you deserve criticism.
Okay, any other question?
Chair, my name is Melita Oletenges for Citizen TV. 3 questions. The first question, there has been a cloud hanging in terms of a trust deficit in the selection panel, particularly in regards to the 6 names that were added or rather sneaked in after the initial shortlist was already announced. How do you respond to that? The other question is that there are already names doing around on social media for people who are saying have been already reported to the president. Do you want to clear the air in regards to this? And then lastly, there have been lobby groups that have already challenged the ongoing process, or rather the process that has ended today. How do you respond to what they are saying that this has been skewed to favor different political quarters?
Okay, any last question? Okay, thank you. In terms of timelines, we were given 90 days by the Act of Parliament. The 90 days expires this Sunday, and so we sought to add some more days, and the Parliament graciously gave us 14 more days, which end on 11th of May. And so by 11th of May, we will have given the names to the President, and the President then will forward the names in accordance to the law. We take responsibility for our process. And as we have stated, that we have conducted our process in accordance with the law. We have done interviews publicly. You and us have evaluated the candidates that have come before us, and using that evaluation, the panel will take due diligence in accordance with the Constitution, which requires that we bring people that are competent with regional representation, gender representation, and inclusion matters. So putting all those things together, the panel will come up with names. And once we have come up with names and forwarded the names to the President, 9 names for members and 2 names for the position of chair, our responsibility ends there. The names that the President chooses, 1 for chair and 6 for members of the Commission, as they are approved by Parliament, they shall become commissioners, and their conduct and their action starts there. They take responsibility of their actions. Whether they do good or do wrong to Kenyans and to the process, it cannot be the responsibility of this panel. We only had a selection to make from 1,300 and about 50 candidates that had applied. We could not have gone outside there and ship and bring in other people that had not applied. And so our responsibility ends with this process. Melita, about 6 names, I've spoken to the 6 names. 6 names were not sneaked in. It is our role and responsibility as a selection panel to shortlist. It's not the role of media, it's not the role of anybody else. So the panel exercised its duty and its responsibility to shortlist 105 names. And upon considerations, we also included 6 names, and it was not a sneak in. We published the names so that you could know that we had published the names. We had a duty to do so, and we have done our duty as it were. And you can evaluate even the candidates that were included, the 6 of them. They have come before us, and you can also make your own assessment whether they are capable candidates or they are not capable candidates. Rounds of names in the media. You are the journalist and you're the media people. You can tell us the sources of those names. We do not know where the names have come from. What we know is that we still have names of 111 and 11 names for chair that we have interviewed here, and those are the ones we are going to consider and forward the names of 11 people to the President. About the other names, we do not know the source. Lobby groups, Kenya, as you have known, the democratic space has opened up for everyone. And we celebrate that democratic space. Anybody can face us and challenge us. They can go to court if they so wish, because Kenya is a democratic country. But as far as we know, we have conducted this process according to the law. We have paid serious fidelity to the requirements of law. And this panel here has a serious advocates of the High Court, members of law society of high repute, and members that are professional, people of high integrity, and we have all conducted this process in the open. You have followed our questions, you have followed the answers of the candidates. You can also follow on the names that we will eventually give to the President to pick his selection of 7 names and forward to the Parliament. I think that's all that I would like to say, and I want to thank you for engaging us. Yes. Who? Okumu.
There have been talks in the public domain requesting that you publish the performance of the candidates. What do you think of that?
It is, the documents are ours and the process is ours. What is required in law is for us to present 11 names to the president. And that's what we will do in terms of reference. If somebody wants to get privileged information, they know how to access that information. They can be able to ask us, but not through the media. Thank you very much. Asanteni. Thank you.